Hi everybody, so one of the problems with DayZ on console, on PlayStation and Xbox is that we don't have any admin commands that you can fire off when you're in server. So on PC what you can do is you can install something like Zombie admin tools or community framework with expansion or something like that, and you can give yourself admin privileges, so you can literally spawn stuff in. So you're in the map, you bring up a special menu and you can say, right, spawn me in a tent there, spawn me in a gun there, put a backpack on my back, this sort of stuff. So you can't do that on console, on Xbox and PlayStation. What we can do is we can spawn custom items in and custom events in, around the map, so you can drop items in, but it can be very inconsistent. So what I wanted was a way for console, but this does work for PC as well, to spawn in a lot of items at once in an easily transportable method. And that's what you see before you, the idea of having like an admin's event truck that you could spawn in somewhere. It wouldn't just generally spawn, this is your truck, and you'd spawn it in, and in the back you could have all the stuff that you would want to run an event, whether that be guns and ammunition, or it could be things like tents, for setting up some bases for like a domination type event. Could be, whatever you want, Hesco boxes. You could even use it as a supply run and say, right, everybody, what does everybody want? And then you could load up the truck, spawn it in on the server, then drive it around to the different places. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video with these snippets. Now, in my DayZ Churnerus 113 XMLs, this is in there, but then I thought, well, people might not want to run my whole XML, so let me show you the snippets, and then that will kind of give you an idea of kind of how it works. So what you want to do is you want to go to my GitHub repository, and then you want to go to the latest one, which should pop up, DayZ admin event truck XML snippet for console and PC. And then in this green box here, if you click here, you can download the zip. Now, there are only two files anyway, the collection of snippets and then the README. And the README is just your normal, use this at your own risk sort of stuff. And then if you go into the snippets file, this is the one that includes the instructions on where to put these little bits. So basically what we're doing is we're going to be taking the event for the truck, so event vehicle truck 01. So this is the event in your events.xml that spawns in the trucks. And what we're doing, if you can see here, is I've just commented out the line that would spawn in the truck 01 covered blue. So we're taking that out of the general loot economy of our server. We're saying, no, you can't have that. Now, on your particular server, you might have more trucks anyway. You might have 18 trucks. You might have, these numbers could well be different. The important thing to do, though, is to comment out, or I guess you could delete if you wanted to, the line that spawns in the child, which is the truck 01 covered blue. And then what we do is we add in another event we call it vehicle truck event, and that's where we've commented out the truck 01 covered, so the normal one and the orange one. So we've just got one of the truck 01 covered blue. So we're saying with the general vehicle trucks that spawn everywhere, don't spawn that in, don't spawn a blue one with those, but I want to have a special one where I have one of my trucks. And then what we do is that if you then go to your CFG event spawns.xml file, and right at the top, underneath the where it says event posdef, so just press enter and create a space, we're going to put in this. So this is event name equals vehicle truck event, and then I've put in some coordinates here. Now these coordinates are west of Sinistock, right at the top of the ski lift. So the ski lift comes up here, and it kind of spawns there because it's out of the way. Now, obviously, you can spawn it wherever you like, but you may want to tell the people on your server, by the way, this truck, this is the admin truck, and it's mine. Nobody else touch it, please. And then you go to your CFG spawnable types, and then over the top of the truck 01 covered blue entry, you just copy all of this There's a lot of it. You've got to be very careful. All of that, and you would right click copy, and then you would paste that on top of it, and then this puts a load of stuff in the back. Now at the moment, the way I've got it set up is this is a load of building stuff, so it's nails, hammers, shovels, there's some planks, plates, and barrels in the back as well. Oh, and there's all the wheels, and there's a fuel, and there's everything you need, to make the truck go. So you just need to take the fuel out of the back, put it in, and then you can drive this stuff off. But obviously the idea of this is that you change these attachments below. Here, let's go. You want to start off below the barrels. So there, where it starts to say canister gasoline, you want to leave those in there. Below where it says Watchtower kit, so there and below, you want to change that to whatever you want to put in. And so you put that stuff in. And then when you spawn it in, the truck will spawn. Now, it's important to know that with this type of thing, you'll probably notice up here that where the event is, our vehicle truck event, you'll see we've got a nominal of 1. There's only 1 truck in one covered blue that spawns in. And we've also only got 1 position for it to spawn in as well. So when you're done with this truck and the stuff's gone, you've either got to shoot it, shoot the engine to make it ruined, and then it will kind of despawn at the next server restart, but then it will respawn in as well. Or, you see where it says active here, if you change that to 0, save on your server, save it, restart your server, that will then make it disappear. Change it back to 1, restart your server, and then it'll appear again. So you may well decide, actually, I'm not always on my server, and I don't want this truck just sitting there ready for someone to come along and steal it. So you change it to active equals 0, save, restart the server, and the truck will just disappear. So nobody can take it. So I thought that might be quite useful. Now, if you're thinking, oh God, how do I do this? It's very easy. Just follow the instructions. But this is Nitrado. So if you're doing it on a Nitrado server, for example, you go to the web interface, you load it in, you go to the file browser down here, and you find the missions folder. And for Chernarus, it's Chernarus. For Livonia, it's Enoch. Click on that. Then all you do is you just look at the instructions and go, right, okay, so copy and paste the below XML snippets over the vehicle truck event in your events.xml file. So you're like, okay, events.xml. Now, events.xml are in your DB directory. So you would click on that. I don't recommend you do it in the web browser. I recommend you do it locally, but if that's the case. And then scroll down to the bottom, and the vehicle truck event, you see it's right at the bottom there. So you would then go, okay, I can understand that. So you would then copy that all the way down to there, making sure you get in these last bits. So you'd right click copy, and then you would very carefully, there would be the, sorry, it would be this one, vehicle truck 01. You would right click, paste that, and that would then go over the top, and then you would save it down there. Then you would look at the next instruction and go, okay, we need to put these coordinates into CFG event spawns. So you would come back out of here, DayZ PS missions, go into the missions folder. So okay, so where's CFG event spawns? There's CFG event spawns. And what you should see, I've already done it. So there we go. There's mine. So there's event post def. So you press enter to make a space, and you see I've already pasted it in, and then you would save the changes. Then you would go okay. Now you need to go into CFG spawnable types. So we can go back to here. Excuse me. Go into the mission folder. Find CFG spawnable types. Now this is quite a big file, so it can be a little bit difficult to deal with. and all the trucks are really at the bottom, and you'll be looking for the blue truck. There's the orange one. Now yours won't be as big as this because obviously I've already done this on my server, so I don't need to do it. Now this is a tricky one. You need to be very careful with this. So there it is, type truck 01 covered blue. So you would go to the snippet, you would copy all of this right down to the type. You would right click copy, then you would go to truck 01 cover blue. Yours won't be as long as this, but you would carefully go down, look for the event. So you're looking for the closing tag, the one that not the event, the entry. All the way down to the bottom. There we go, down to the back of the type, and then you would right click paste, and that would put that over the top. Be very careful you don't accidentally not include one of the opening and closing tags like the type or stuff like that. Then you would go to the bottom, click on save, hit restart your server, which is there, and then with a bit of luck you'll have a truck. Now when you're placing your truck, be careful not to place it over the top of railings or fences because they'll get stuck. If they're too close to something else, they won't spawn in at all as well, so just put it, things like airfields are often good for trucks, but again you've got to make sure people know because they're very obvious on airfields. So there we go, hopefully you found that useful. I'll put a link to this XML snippet in the description below the video, and remember with this event I've only put one in, but you could have as many of these trucks as you wanted, but they would spawn in with the same stuff, you know. So you could actually say, well, I need 3 of these, so you could spawn them in at an airfield next to each other with coordinates fairly close to, you know, you probably want them like 20 to 30 meters apart, and then you could spawn that stuff in, and then you could use it to create your event. But I'm sure you'll come up with lots of imaginative ways of using them. Right, well, if that's useful, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.